What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Today we're doing Benign. Benign is a challenge in TryHackMe. In this challenge we will use Splunk as well to investigate Windows event logs. So this will be another room to practice your Splunk skills. So the challenge is here. The description says one of the client's IDs indicated a potentially suspicious process execution, indicating one of the hosts from the HR department was compromised. So one of the endpoints in the HR department was witnessed to be executing a suspicious process. So as such, because the company has IDS implemented in place, the IDS issued an alert. Okay, so based on specific artifacts or specific attributes of the process, the IDS initiated the alert. It depends on the IDS rules actually. That's if you are asking how the IDS initiated the alerts. Some tools related to network information gathering, scheduled tasks were executed which confirmed the suspicion. Okay, so due to limited resources, we could only pull the process execution logs with event ID 4688. So the source of the events is Windows event logs. The analyst has pulled all of the Windows event logs and has filtered them down or narrowed them down to include only the logs or the events whose ID is equal to 4688. Which means we are investigating only the events that are related to process execution. We want to find out what is the suspicious process that has been executed on the suspected hosts. So we're given here the structure of the compromised network, of course not the diagram, just departments wise. IT departments, we have 3 names. HR department, we have 3 names. Marketing department, we have 3 names. The problem lies here. We have an infected host, okay, in the HR department. We want to find out, okay, what was the process responsible for the compromise, or at least we want to find out what happened post the compromise. So I'm using here the attacker machine. I deployed the attached machine here, and here are the questions you want or you have to answer. So we open up Splunk and we start the investigation. I opened Facebook. I should get back. Okay. So first, how do we search the data? First, we need the index, as we learned in the previous videos. So this is the index that has been used to store or to upload the data. So we write index equal event logs, and we retrieve all of the related events. If you don't see any events, go to the time filter and click on all time. So as you can see, we have 13,959. That's the number of logs. Okay, imposter alert. There seems to be an imposter account observed in the logs. What's the name of that user? An imposter is someone, it's like someone who's trying to be someone else. Okay, so if you go back to the structure, we have around 9 users. Now, if we scroll down, as always, take a look at the interesting fields. All the way down, we see a field named username, and we have a total of 11 usernames. Okay. So we have, if you take a look at all of these users, they match the users given in the departments. So we have another user, which is system. So these are 10 users. So we are left with 1 user. Definitely this user is the imposter, but we cannot see it here. That's why we have to go back, go up there, and try to display all of the usernames. So we can do that using the table. First, we use DDUP. Okay, user name. DDUP means we remove all the duplicates. Okay, and then we type table user name. Display all of the usernames with no duplicates. Search, and we display all of the users in a table. Total of 11. Chris, system, all the way down, you see this one, Amelia, but instead of the I, we have 1. The imposter created an account, okay, that looks very much similar to the original account, Amelia, but the only difference was like 1 character. So instead of the I, we have a number. So the imposter account is Amelia. Which user from the HR department was observed to be running scheduled tasks? Okay, so the challenge here, most of the tasks that we will accomplish today will be done through using the tables and the sorting. So basically here, we want to find out the user from the HR department who's executed scheduled tasks. So scheduled task is a process. Let's search for scheduled tasks. Okay, so normally the process name is scheduled tasks. So we search all the logs for the logs that contain the scheduled tasks. Okay, and I want to find out, I'm going to cancel this, who are the usernames executing the scheduled task. So this one isn't enough. I want also to find out the process name. So I'm going to go to events. I'm going to cancel this for now and click enter. I will have 87 events. So I want to find out the username along with the command line. So we have the command line, as you can see. So we have one, create office updater, C users, Chris Ford, updated local temp, update. So that's the scheduled task that was created and was created by username. As you can see, it's very obvious, users, Chris Ford. That's the answer for this question. So for now, we discovered that there's an imposter account named Amelia, and the user Chris Ford, as you can see, has created a scheduled task. Now, apparently the scheduled task is to update Microsoft Office, but it's not clear yet if that executable update is really the executable that really updates Microsoft Office. And we can judge this by the path. So it's unlikely that if we go to Microsoft documentation and we look for the original path that Microsoft uses to store the update executable. Let's see here. This is off the task, by the way, guys, but let's find out. So Office updater executable path Windows. Let's see where it's normally stored. Office, Microsoft Office. So we can't get much information about this here. But if I look in my machine, I click update, or if I search, so you have this executable update, as you can see, open file location. Where is this file? It is the Tor browser. No, I don't need this one. Okay, so this is off the task, guys. Not required to find out if this executable is malicious or not, because you cannot technically find out. But that's bonus information if you want to find out if this is really an updater or not. And that drags on through all of the investigation methods that you may come across. So basically, you see a scheduled task, okay, and the name indicates that it is a benign or a regular application. You have to find out if that's really the case. So normally I would go grab the copy of update and upload that to VirusTotal if you want to find out if this is really malicious or not, instead of just finding out where is the original path that Microsoft uses to store the updater. Okay, let's go back to here. Which user from the HR department executed a system process LOL binary to download a payload from a file sharing host? So there was a machine in the HR department executed a binary or system process to download a payload. So here, as you can see, we have to find out the username. So let's go back and HR department, system process, download a payload from a file sharing host. Okay, let's remove schedule tasks. And here we have to filter by the username. So HR department, to find out which user, let's go back and include all of these usernames in the search. So here we put user name equal Aaron, or include all of the users who are in the HR department. Chris, Fort, or the last one was Diana, but pay attention, guys. The name here is Diana, but it's written differently here in the logs. It is Diana. So basically, if you go back and take a look at the username, not here, but I will write it to you guys. It's written as is. That's how it's written here. It's different. Search 3, as you can see. So the users in the HR department, we have 3,000 events related to these users. I want to find out the username who executed a payload, execute a process to download a payload. Okay, so what do we do here? We say table first user name, and then we display the process names alongside the username. So process name, we have 87 processes. Let's display these here. Okay, so unfortunately we have to look through these processes. So as you can see, guys, as the description, it says a process that downloaded a payload from a file sharing host. So if you look at these are not processes used to download something from a file sharing host. Let's see here. You can take the hint from here and go to this site. This site displays all of the binaries living off the land binaries. So as you can see, these are binaries commonly witnessed during cyber attacks. With every binary, as you can see, this is the function, what's the purpose of the binary, and what's the technique associated with that binary. For example, app installer was associated with downloading payloads. You see the function of every single payload, but you're not gonna go through every single binary and search for it here, because we have many binaries here for which the function is download. So we're not gonna investigate all of them. We're gonna just take a look at the binaries here, and if we are suspicious of any single one of them, we're gonna compare it to the list here. So these are not 3 smart screen, Google update. Another method is, if you are suspicious of one of these processes, you can just take the name and search in Google. But for now, there is no GIMP. It's not. Let me search. No. 5, 6, Spotify, KeyPass, calculator. Okay, this is gonna get it's gonna be very long. So we have to filter these somehow. We have 3,000 events. What we're going to do, going to get back and use the filters. So which user from HR department execute the system process, download a payload from a file sharing host. So we have Haron, Lina, and Chris Fort. Number of events is 3,000. Let's go back and see how we can narrow these down more. Maybe if we use dedup, dedup user name. Remove the duplicates. No, that's not gonna work. Right click barely works. Okay, let's go back and see if we can narrow these down more using the categories here. So if you have the command line, not interested in command line. Username. Okay, these are the host names for the HR department. Category, command line. So you must have some stuff we can do here. Let's go back. To download a payload from a file sharing host. To find binaries used to download payloads. But we have many binaries here. So alternatively, you can search the events by the username. So if we start with Harun first, how many events? We have 1137. If we use dedup on the process name and then display the process name with only process name. So we have 86 processes launched by Harun. Let's take a look at these. So all of these are P9 processes. It's not going to be long. We have only 86. So we have this WinSCP to upload and download. Let's search this here. It's a tool used, by the way, but it's not the intended one in this scenario. You can still use this to download stuff from a server. This is Internet Explorer. Okay, let's see here. Nothing for and the last page we have Foxit Reader, request ticket, cert utility, search cert utility, and you have it. Now someone might ask me, how do you know it's Harun? I don't know it's Harun. I was just searching, trying them one by one. Harun, Chris, and Diana. So in another case, it might be Diana, the first user that you might be trying first with. So it depends on you. So I tried first with Harun and I found the process. If I tried maybe with Chris, I wouldn't find the process, right? I would try with Chris, then I would follow it up with Haron, Diana, and whatever username might be there until I end up with the answer. So that's the answer, it's Haron, that's the username. What was the process? It is cert utility. What was the date? To display the date, you have to use the table time. So table underscore time. And use cert utility here so that you filter all of these out. This is the date and time. Copy only this one. Which third-party site was accessed to download the malicious payload? Okay, so now we know that Haron machine was the machine that was compromised. And after it was compromised, the attacker launched cert utility to download a payload. Now I want to find out from which site the payload was served. To find out, we have to use another filter. So table, let's remove time and remove dedup. So we're interested in Haron and the cert utility. Now to find out the website from which the payload was served, we have to display the command line. So displaying the command line will show you the exact command used with this process. So that's the site name, or that's the full URL, and that's the payload name. Okay, and if you visit the site, you will get the flag. And doing all of this will answer the rest of the questions. So this is the flag that answers the rest of the questions. That's the site, that's the payload, that's the flag, and that's the full URL. I hope you guys like this, and hopefully you are becoming more proficient using Splunk as a security analyst or as an aspiring security analyst. Thank you for watching.